Hi everybody, my name is Lexi and today we are going to be walking through a glutes focused lower body workout. Now I've posted workouts in the past, it's been a hot minute, but this workout I'm going to do a little different. Instead of going through the workout as if you were going to be doing it while watching the video, I am going to be going through the exercises instead and then putting the workout at the end. So through the workout I'll talk about the warm up and then the exercises and how we're supersetting them, and then how to approach them to get better glute activation through them. And then at the end, I will put how many reps, how many sets, and all of that jazz. Now, you're more than welcome to scroll through the video to get to that workout portion, but I definitely recommend listening to some of the tips and tricks because they could help you feel out these exercises better and in turn work those glutes a little bit more. But without further ado, let's get started. Also, I know I probably look crazy today. I was in Nashville with the girls last night, and Nashville is really close to us. We're about 45 minutes to an hour away. So I didn't film this today. I didn't film this workout today. I filmed it the other day and then forgot to do this part of it. But bear with me, I'm sorry. With a 5-minute warm up, we're gonna start with our 90-90s, rotating through our hips. You can put your hands on the ground for balance on these as you see me doing here. Also note this video is sped up, so I am not going this fast. We need to do our motions very slow. We're taking the time to really feel out and warm up our body right now. From our 90-90s, we are gonna go into our glute bridges. We wanna make sure those knees are stacked over those ankles, driving through those heels, squeezing the glutes at the top. Remember, this is a warm-up. We're going through the motion. We're feeling it out. We're really preparing for our workout here. Now, after our glute bridges, we are going to go into cat-cows. Big inhale as you go into cow, and then exhale into cat, pushing the ground away as if you're separating your shoulders. Really warming up that back, especially for things like deadlifts and squats and whatnot. We want to be prepared. This also helps warm up our core. Now we're going to go into bird dogs. Same thing as the cat cows. We're really warming up our core here, but we're also opening up our hip, getting that warm and ready for our lift. Again, this video is sped up, so we want to do this nice and slow and really feel out what we're doing, using our breath to go through these motions. From there, we're going to go into king squats. We want to start these out by pushing our hips back, hinging them towards the wall, and then going down into a squat. So think you're going from a good morning down into a squat, and then just reversing that and coming back up and repeating. Again, this took me about 5 minutes to do. And then here is our final exercise for our warm-up. We're going to do some lateral side steps. I did 3 back and forth here. And we're really focusing on driving this with our knees, not letting our foot lead the way. Really feeling that stretch out with some big size steps. For about 5 minutes, we should be feeling warm, and now we can get into our workout. I'm going to be doing about 5 to 6 exercises for this workout. Nothing crazy. You don't need a ton of exercises to really get in a good workout. You really just need to focus in on how you're performing the workout and how much effort you're putting into those exercises. So today is a super simple workout, but it is for the gym, so you will need a barbell and some dumbbells and a pad for the barbell for like our glute bridges, as well as some bumper plates, and a resistance band. Our first exercise, we are going to be doing a deficit sumo deadlift. For this, we are going to go knees at our shoulder width apart. And then we are going to make sure between every rep we are resetting, so we are hitting that deficit. The deficit is those plates getting past the plates we're standing on, and it's super important we stay in that deficit for each rep. Now, remember with sumo deadlifts, we do want to make sure that we are lifting with our legs, and that's with any deadlift. We're not lifting with our back necessarily. We're lifting with our legs. So I want you to think you are pushing the ground away as you're bringing that weight up. Really focusing on not letting those hips shoot up and the back taking the brunt of the lift as we do it. We're going to switch angles here so you can see how wide my feet are. I have my hands between my knees for this exercise. We don't want them on the outside. We want to make sure that our hands are in between our knees as we go down into that exercise. Again, we're resetting between every rep, just making sure we're in that deficit, really using it to help us get an extra stretch throughout the glute. And you'll see me doing that in each rep. We are going to superset our deficit sumo deadlift with a B stance barbell glute bridge. For this, you want to have the pad right over your hips to protect it. That way you're also comfortable and it's not painful to be lifting that bar. Then we want to make sure that our knees are in line with our hips. So we don't have them wider, we don't have them more narrow. And then our foot, so we're gonna, with the B stance, we're working more with one leg than we are with the other. So it's about 80-20. And we want to make sure that the foot we are working is nice and flat, knees in line with that ankle at the top of the rep. And then the other foot, our heel is going to be in line with our toes, and it's going to have our toes elevated. So we're not putting weight into that foot. It's really just there for balance so that we can put all of our work into the leg that has that flat foot. With glute bridges, we really want to drive with our heel. So that's why we want to keep that foot nice and flat, and we want to drive that weight up with our heel, squeezing through the glutes as we come up. And like I had mentioned, I do want you to challenge yourself and use that weaker leg first. The first exercise of our next superset is going to be the reverse deficit lunge. For these, we are going to make sure, again, we are going into that deficit. Without us going into that deficit, it's not really serving its purpose. So we are going to make sure our knee is getting either past the plates or all the way to touch the ground for this exercise, and then bringing ourselves up through our heel. You'll also notice a slight hinge in my body, so my torso is slightly leaning forward, but I'm not letting my chest fall. It's still staying nice up and proud. If deficits are hard for you balance-wise, you can always remove the plates and just do a lunge from the floor, doing the same motion, keeping your torso nice and leaned forward, and then driving through that heel. So you're still getting a good stretch. You're just not getting as much stretch as you would through the deficit motion. Next exercise for our superset is going to be one of my favorite exercises, the banded reverse hyperextension. Now for these, remember a superset, we're doing it back to back. So we're going to finish our reverse deficit lunge and then go straight into this. Same with the first superset. If you do have cables, you can definitely switch these for glute kickbacks with our single leg. But I'm using what I have, and I have a band. I've wrapped it around the base of the bench and around my feet. And I've made sure the bend of my hip is at the edge of the bench. So when I'm bringing my leg down, it's comfortable. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of pressure. And then I'm just going straight out with my legs, using my glutes to lift them as we go up. Now, it's really important to remember with this exercise, we don't want to work against our back. So we're going to breathe, exhaling as we go out, pushing our belly button into the bench. Final superset is going to start with a lying dumbbell hamstring curl. Now, if you have access to a lying hamstring curl machine, definitely use that instead. But here I am using a dumbbell by holding it between the arches of my feet. Same thing as if we were on a machine. We're squeezing our glutes throughout the motion to make sure our hips stay nice and planted. We don't want them lifting up as we bring that weight up and down. We want them to stay nice and stuck. So we're going to keep our glutes nice and squeezed throughout the exercise. You'll see me try to feel my glutes at some points through this, and that's just to make sure I'm making that mind muscle connection to squeeze them. And I definitely think that you should try that as well, because it is a game changer. Now, our next exercise, sorry in advance, we're doing some glute bias RDLs. Now, we're making them glute bias by adding that little bit of bend in our knee as we go down. That helps us get a nicer stretch through the glute. But also, it's important to remember with RDLs, we're not going up and down with this motion. We're actually going back and forth. So the hips are going back, hinging towards the wall behind us as if someone's pulling them back. And then we're coming right back up. So we're going back and forth as we go through that exercise. Also important to remember, we are keeping the dumbbells gliding down our shins. As promised, I am giving you the workout here at the end of this video. The workout, as we've already discussed, is going to be in supersets, and we have 3 of those supersets, so a total of 6 exercises. Starting with superset 1, we're going to do our deficit sumo deadlifts back to back with our B stance barbell glute bridge. And for our sumo deadlift, we're going to be doing the 4 rounds of 6 to 8 reps. And then we're going to be doing our B stance barbell glute bridges for 10 to 12 reps each, also for 4 sets. Now, that is up to you for that range, that 10 to 12. We want you to get to 12, but at 10, if that's the last one you can pump out, go for it. Now, following that up, we're going to do our second superset. We're going to do our reverse deficit lunge first, followed by our reverse banded hypers. And our lunges, we're going to do 3 sets of 8 reps and then 3 sets of 12 reps for our banded hypers. For our final superset, we're going to be doing our lying dumbbell hamstring curls, followed by our RDLs. Again, if you have a hamstring curl machine, use that instead. For our curls, we're going to be doing the 3 sets of 8 to 10 range, similar to in our first superset where we're going to failure. We're going to try to get to that 10, but if we can only get to 8, 9, then that is completely okay. And then we're going to finish off with our RDLs for 3 sets of 8 reps. Thank you everybody for hanging out with me today. I do hope you enjoyed the workout. Please let me know if you do the workout in the comments and let me know what you think. And until then, I will see you next time.